The Ravens are in the midst of finding a new defensive coordinator. The team in Wink Martindale parted ways last week, and now this is a really important decision for head coach John Harbaugh. Anyone who watched the divisional round of the playoffs last week saw just how explosive these opponents in the AFC can be, and it's going to be the responsibility of the new DC to come in and find ways to slow down and stop those talented offenses and great young quarterbacks. Now, this is an attractive job for a number of reasons. First of all, there's that great tradition of defensive excellence here in Baltimore. There's also the fact that you get to work under Harbaugh, who's one of the longest tenured and most respected coaches in the league. I think those facts are going to draw a lot of candidates for this role. And then when you look at the roster, the Ravens have a talented young core with guys like Marlon Humphrey, Odafe Oweh, Patrick Queen. There's also the fact that some defensive leaders, some veteran players could be moving on this offseason, so you'll have the opportunity to kind of put your imprint on this defense. Now, there's going to be lots of good candidates for this role. There's no question about that, and they could be both internal and external. Now, traditionally speaking, the Ravens have often hired from within. That's what they did with Wink and Dean Pease before him and Chuck Pagano before that. So if they go that route, well, you've got Anthony Weaver and Chris Hewitt and Drew Wilkins, all really talented coaches on this staff. Now, externally, there's also coaches who used to be in Baltimore but left for positions with other teams. There's Joe Cullen, who became the defensive coordinator in Jacksonville this offseason. There's also Mike McDonald, who went to coach for Jim Harbaugh at Michigan as the DC. And the Ravens could also go a completely other direction. There are reports out there that they've asked to interview Joe Witt from the Dallas Cowboys, who's their passing defense coordinator. So that's another option that they could go. There's going to be quality candidates, and I'm sure that the Ravens are going to make a great decision for this position. Now, we'll see how all of this plays out over the course of the next couple weeks. And before I go today, I want to make sure you saw that the latest episode of the Purple Chair podcast dropped earlier today. We've got a really special guest for you today. Jane Skinner Goodell joined the podcast. She's NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell's wife. She has some really interesting perspective. So go ahead and make sure you check that out. Just search Purple Chair Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. So that's it for me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow.